Hi, this is Jake from Optimus Futures, and in this video, I'll be walking you through the process of installing indicators onto your charts, as well as how to use drawing tools on the TradeStation platform. So first up, we're going to need to open up a chart, obviously, to do this. You have one of two ways of doing so. You can either go through the apps portion of the platform here in the top left-hand corner, and then scroll over to chart analysis. Your other option is to go to File, New Application, and then go to Chart Analysis. Control-Alt-C will also be a keyboard shortcut that you could use to access this app. Now from here, our chart is automatically opened up. Our asset class, and being that we're a futures broker, we're going to focus on futures. I guess for this video, it doesn't really matter because the functionality and technicality behind this process is going to remain the same for any TradeStation chart. But if you need to open up and load some data, you can just go to settings, at data, and then add symbol. Search for your symbol here or use the lookup button, and then once you have it, click on plot. Now from here, this is where your options open up. So it's actually really easy to apply studies, quote unquote, or indicators as they'll call them on TradeStation, or drawing tools. So you do have some toolbars up at the top here that you can use and utilize to go ahead and place these tools. As you can see, there's a drawing section, and this is going to give you all the different drawing tools within TradeStation charts here. And then same thing for studies. You can go through this little study group here. So let's just do drawing tools first. So the first couple options you have, and they're not necessarily drawing tools, but they're just pretty much your mouse cursor. When using charts, and especially for chart trade mode, I probably suggest you use a crosshair pointer. So that'll just activate a crosshair here, and even if you left click and hold, you can see you get the open, high, low, close, and your different price values while left clicking and holding along whatever price action you're currently hovering over. So that's actually quite nice, and it'll show you detailed statistics of whatever candle you're hovering over. Again, just left click and hold to show this. Continuing on, you see there's a large pointer and a small pointer as well, all personal preference. And now here is where we can start getting into drawing tools. So down here, these are just some basic drawing tools, just kind of miscellaneous ones. Andrew's pitchfork we could draw. Excuse my technicality behind this. Isn't actually accurate, but I just want to show you the process of doing so. So for that you just saw there, you just want to go to Andrew's pitchfork right here, left click on your first point. That'll start your first plot point there, and you can pivot across this point here, and then you're going to want to left click once more, and then this is where your pitchfork comes into play. You can either right click or click escape, and that'll get you out of that tool. Just to show you, if you left click or double left click, you can go ahead in here and actually change up colors, line weights, line styles, the transparency, how it's calculated. So you have a couple different methods here if you're familiar with those. You can even create alerts off of these indicators. You can label them, and then of course we have the data that it's handled for. If you want, you can left click, highlight, and then click delete on your keyboard, and it will erase it. Continuing on, and I'm not going to go through every single indicator here. As you can see, you have like regression channels. Again, you just left click on your keyboard there. It'll create a little pivot point, and then you can keep on extending through. We'll just click on delete, and that'll get rid of that. Continuing on, here's some Fibonacci stuff. As you can see, there's Fibonacci retracement calculators, lines, resistance, arcs. Just to show you here, we can select our point right here at the end of this candle. Left click, move our retracement lines up. And there we have our retracement lines. Again, you can double left click. It'll open up your customization settings for this. And with the cool thing about retracement lines and Fibonacci in specific, you can change the percentage levels. You can go through the different alerts here. And again, as you saw, you can always change the colors and different line weights as well as the transparency, create labels for yourself, and again, associate the data this belongs to. Let's delete this from our chart so we can stay organized here. And then as you can see, you just have a couple other things down here that you might want to keep notice of. If you want to draw text and make little labels for yourself, you can do that here. You have some shapes down here. We have drawing mode where it's just going to focus on drawing, and you can exit that out at any time. As you can see, this is highlighted blue, so when you're trading, you're going to want to exit that. Also, you have the drawing toolbar here, which on the left-hand side, if you want, this is another way of doing it. And for those of you that are utilizing drawing tools or constantly, making marks on your chart, you probably want to activate that. So that's going to stay on your left-hand side, which is very nice. So again, you can activate that or deactivate that here. And then snap mode, that's just going to snap all your drawings to different locations on the candles pretty much. And it's just going to make it a little bit easier for you to draw along the lines. Otherwise, you're going to have to freeform draw it for the most part or pick your own pivot points. Now continuing on, let's go to study. So from here, you have a couple different methods or different options to choose from. For your basic indicators, you probably just want to go to add study. This is going to take a second to load, but this is going to show you all the different indicators that they have there here. And there are quite a few, as you can see. There's also some other ones. These are called like show me indicators. These are pretty much just intended to give like a trading concept, or they're used as analysis tools. And again, as you can see, they do give a little description here. There's not specific to any particular study or security instrument. Here we have paint bars, and again, these are all pretty much just different indicators that you can utilize. Here's some volume stuff. Here's some probability maps and almost heat maps, you can call them. So really, it just depends on personal preference, and the, I guess, technicality behind them is all the same. Obviously, there's too many to go through one by one, and we have 5 different sections here to go through. I'm going to just focus on the indicator section for now, but as you can see, we can add, let's say, for example, advanced decline line. If we want and we highlight it, we can click, we'll highlight it first, it'll turn blue. There is a definition here on the bottom left-hand corner you can click on. This will even bring up your TradeStation pretty much directory here, and this is going to give you a table of contents of all the different indicators they have, and pretty much just everything on the platform. You can read about it if you want. It's going to tell you exactly what it does, the formula and the formula behind it. So if we have it, we like it, you can even click prompt for editing if you want to edit it up. If not, we can just click OK. And after a second, this should add our AD line to our chart here. Not sure why the AD line didn't work right away, but as you can see, we did an alligator indicator that just plotted it on our chart right here. You can continue on if you want. We can show bid ask prices, different other things like such as a MACD. We can click OK. As you can see, this opens up its own portion of the chart here. Some indicators will overlay drawing lines or no bands on your chart over the actual price line. Or the price graph. Others will create their own portion of the graph, and you can expand and contract this portion of the graph, hovering over this little black area in between both portions of your graph, and you can move up or down as needed. Of course, you can always left click and delete off of your chart if you need to. And then other than that, and what I'd like to show you is just the fact that you can right click at your chart at any time and follow the same pretty much guideline as you did from either your chart toolbar here or your drawing toolbar or up top. Pretty much the same options you have down here below. Again, and we didn't show this before, but there's also these strategies within here that you can pretty much create strategies for yourself if you want to. There's some that you need to pay for on TradeStation, but we won't get into that too much. And then finally, you do have study groups where you can pretty much take a group of studies that you have applied to your chart, create them as a group, and then that way for charts going forward, you can just throw them on your chart and they'll all be grouped together. But we'll leave that for another video because this one is probably long enough just to show you how to place these drawing tools and indicators on your chart. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. So if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below or head over to our community forum. You're more than welcome to ask questions there, and it's going to be linked in the description below. If you're interested in our margins, commissions, the platforms we offer, feel free to check that down in the description as well. We'll have links for those. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. We have TradeStation videos coming out. We have podcasts, trading tips, advice, and much more. And as always, thanks for watching.